Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Tesla report for Friday, January 12th, 2024.
But before I walk you through the charts, as usual, just want to encourage you to please click like if you haven't already, subscribe to the Wicked Stocks YouTube channel, share the content if you would with friends and colleagues, and check out wickedstocks.com, where we offer a full suite of both daily and weekly analytical videos just like this one. Daily analysis in the SPY and the Triple Q, that is the S&P 500 and NASDAQ 100 ETFs. Weekly analysis in the S&P 500 Index, the NASDAQ 100 Index, the Long Bond ETF, the TLT, as well as 2 individual stock picks a week that you never see on YouTube. That is 8 a month that cater to the 3 to 5 week swing trader out to the 3 to 5 month near-term investor. We're always looking for at least 20% moves on those stock picks, and you can check out all of this for no cost for 5 days. We offer a 5-day free trial up front with a wickedstocks.com subscription. So sign up for wickedstocks.com, check it all out. If you don't like what you see within 5 days, you can cancel your subscription at no cost to you whatsoever.
Let's take a look at the charts. So we take a look at the big picture. We're continuing to fall away from this longer-term resistance level, a price ceiling we've been mentioning now for a couple of months as able to contain buying on a monthly, possibly quarterly basis. We tested the 257.72 descending channel top on the weekly chart 3 weeks ago. It held nicely, and we're continuing to fall away. And I've been mentioning since testing 257.72, it's actually in the low 260s at that time, that you should allow for the 179.22 long-term descending channel bottom, the channel bottom to the 257.72 channel top. And with respect to channel dynamics, that kind of a rotation is certainly not unordinary for Tesla. So, and in fact, so much so that I think you can play that, as I've been saying now for the last few weeks. Following the test of 257.72, you could, for instance, reach for 180 or 175 strike out of the money puts that don't expire for at least 6 months. I would probably go further out just to reduce that time decay element. Now, in terms of whether we clearly are expecting the 179.22 channel bottom, that would come with a settlement today below the 223.73 to 225.02 region. This has been a 3 to 5 week objective, and we realize it in about 2 weeks, maybe 2 weeks in a couple of days. So inside of 3 weeks, we actually reached our initial big picture objective, and that is 223.73 to 225.02. Can contain selling through the rest of January. And from here, we can round back up into the mid to upper 250s right about here on the chart over the next 2 to 3 weeks, simply put. And so that is kind of your 2 to 3 week dynamic as we approach. And we came close to testing this area actually on Thursday. But as we continue to do so, as we test it, if you have been short Tesla, which was the recommendation, a few weeks ago when we were testing this channel top once again at 257.72. So if you've been short since then, whatever that means, maybe you're short the stock, maybe you reach for 220 or 225 out of the money puts. This is the area. We've reached the objective, and so taking profits here is advised, and even perhaps reversing if you like to go long. 3 to 5 day swing traders go long in the 225.02 down to 23.73 region in anticipation of a return to 240.58 over the next 3 to 5 days. And as I said just a moment ago, 2 to 3 week swing traders can go long here in anticipation of, once again, this 257.72 channel top. That might mean if you're, comfortable trading options, that you reach for 255 out of the money calls that don't expire. I would go at least a month out on that. Your 255 level is right here. This could be a 2 to 3 week move, but it could take every bit of 2 to 3 weeks. So I would go at least a month out, maybe even 2 months out on that 255 strike out of the money call. And that is kind of like the dynamic over the next 2 to 3 weeks. But, as I mentioned at the top of this video and have now for some weeks, you should continue to allow for the upper 170s, lower 170s perhaps over the next 3 to 5 months. And you can actually act on it, as I've been saying. So maybe you did buy the 180 or 170 strike out of the money puts that don't expire for at least 6 months, as I've been saying. And if we do close today below 223.73, I think you'll see this by the end of February. So over the next 6 weeks or so, a 178.95 descending channel bottom would be expected. So if you've done nothing, if you maybe when we were testing this longer term resistance a few weeks ago, ago and you didn't get short. And so now your next clear short sale opportunity, if your time horizon is 3 to 5 weeks out, would be a settlement today below 223.73. And so if we close today below 223.73, 3 to 5 week sell signal down to 178.95, where profits can be taken, and you can bottom pick Tesla down here in the upper 170s as we move through the second quarter, because if we can round back up from there again. Let's get to the day itself. I do have 233.95. This is a new descending channel top based on the last week and a half. It can contain intraday, possibly daily buying pressures. And if we were to push through 223.95, we could test this 240.58 channel bottom on an intraday basis. I think the likelier outcome is that if we were to close above 233.95 today, you can anticipate a test Monday of 240.58, which can contain buying quite possibly through next week, and we could fall away again back into the low to mid 220s within a week of testing 240.58. Closing above 240.58, I would expect another test, and this is on the daily chart. You can see how we closed above this channel top for a day only about 2.5 weeks ago, when on the weekly chart, we still had, this 257.72 channel top. We pushed through it. We did not close above it at the end of a week, and really in terms of how should I put this? I'm going to sort of sketch out a concept here that, there is no guarantee that we'll see 170.95. This may be it. We may bottom out, as I've been saying, at 223.73 to 25.02 through the rest of January. That's something I had just said. But, through the rest of January, as we look back in February, March, may have been the low. And so, what am I saying here? If you buy 223.73 to 225.02, I think you can possibly anticipate a retest of this 257.72 descending channel top. And if we then close above 257.72, then you've got longer term bullish continuations, I've been saying, to 352.93 over the following, I don't know, by now it's looking more like 6 months. But that's all very subjective. But I think it's a realistic play that if we were to close above 257.72, that formation by a full 1% margin at the end of a week, that is our next long-term buy signal. And by long term, I'm talking 3 to 5 months out. So, I think I pretty much said it all. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to remind you once again that from here, 223.73 to 25.02, we can round back up into the mid to upper 250s quite easily over the next 2 to 3 weeks. But if we do close below 223.73, no good reason to be long Tesla as we move into February trade. In fact, there's a very good reason to be short Tesla as we move into February trade. I think there's one more chart I want to show you, because if we do sell off today, if we do violate 223.73 today, there is a long-term trend line off the January 23 low against the more recent October low, and that's at 216.57. It could contain session weakness if we break today below 223.73. We could bounce off of 216.57. And if we close back above 223.73, it's still kind of a bottom picking dynamic as we move into February. But, I don't think 216.57 is a significant support level. In other words, it would be, once again, a settlement below 223.73 that sets us on a bearish path into February, the upper 170s than expected. In fact, that is the wrong chart. I'm going to give you the right chart here. If we close below 223.73, 178.95, and dropping daily, expected then by the end of February. That is all I've got. I'll be back Monday afternoon, actually, with Tuesday's Tesla. Long holiday weekend, MLK Monday. And so we'll be back Monday afternoon with Tuesday's Tesla. Please click like, share, subscribe. Check out wickedstocks.com for that 5-day free trial. You have a great weekend.